Nintendo claims bumper software sales have invigorated the Switch in its latest financials, but that has not stopped the company from lowering the console's full-year sales forecast. According to its fiscal report for the 9 months ended December 31st,
2018
Nintendo now only expects Switch hardware sales to total 17 million units by the end of the financial year, on March 31st.
2019
It had previously anticipated sales of 20 million units. On the handheld front, Nintendo also reduced its full-year 3DS hardware forecast down to 6 million units from 4 million units. Looking at the company's overall performance, net sales rose by 16.4% year-over-year to 997.3 billion yuan, $9.19 billion, while profits increased by 24.9% to 168.8 billion yuan, $1.55 billion, during the same period. Over the past 9 months, 3 Nintendo Switch titles: Super Mario Party 5, 3 million units, Pokémon Let's Go 10 million units, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 12.08 million units, managed to pull in record sales. To help boost Switch hardware, the sales of third-party games also continues to grow steadily, and the Switch now boasts 1 million plus selling titles. Overall, cumulative Switch software sales for the past 9 months clocked in at 19.64 million units, an increase of 109% year-over-year. Those burgeoning software sales gave Switch hardware a shot in the arm, with console sales rising by 19.5% year-on-year to 49 million units. In Nintendo's digital business, sales of downloadable titles, download-only software, and add-on content also witnessed growth on the Switch, and combined to bring in digital sales of 84 billion yuan, $775.5 million, a year-over-year increase of 95.1%. Lifetime Switch hardware sales now stand at 32.27 million units, while lifetime Switch software sales have reached 163.61 million units. Moving on to the 3DS, the aging handheld saw hardware sales fall by 65% to 31 million units, while software sales also doubled by 64.5% to 11.08 million units. On the mobile front, Nintendo's smart device-related income rose by 14.7% year-on-year to 33.3 billion yuan, $306.7 million. The company partly attributes that increase to the launch of Joggly Lost, which reportedly grossed around $28 million in its first month on digital shelves. Despite lowering its hardware forecast for both the Switch and 3DS, Nintendo has not revised its overall financial outlook, and still expects to see net sales of 1 trillion yuan, $10.6 billion, and profits of 165 billion yuan, $1.46 billion, by the end of the financial year, on March 31st.
2019
Star Control designers Paul Reichard and Robert Frederick Ford have defended their decision to issue a DMCA takedown against Star Control Origins, which resulted in the title being pulled from sale earlier this week. Origins developer Stardock has been engaged in a lengthy legal battle with Reich and Ford over the trademarks and copyrights to the Star Control franchise, and criticized the duo for choosing to bypass the legal system by issuing weak DMCA takedown notices to Steam and Dock. We attempted to get a preliminary out injunction to prevent them from issuing more false DMCA takedown notices. Unfortunately, the court ruled that it was not the court's place to intervene in the area of DMCAs. Thus, here we are, wrote Stardock on the Steam forums. To my knowledge, never in the history of our industry has anyone attempted to use the DMCA system to take down a shipping game before. For those not familiar with copyright law, you cannot copyright ideas, individual or short phrases, concepts, mechanics, or game designs. With Stardock having said its piece, Riot and Ford have now shared their version of events, and reiterated their view that Star Control Origins is substantially similar to their work on Star Control 2nd. Starting from the top, the designers confirmed they agreed to refrain from serving DMCA notices while a judge looked at an injunction filed by Stardock, but that after the studio's motion was denied, they had every right to push forward with their DMCA takedown against Origins. As you might guess, we are going to continue defending our copyrights against what we feel and contend in the lawsuit is infringement by Stardock. So we served new DMCA notices late last week, commented Riot and Ford. Stardock CEO Brad Wardell has said repeatedly, you cannot copyright a word, which seems to mean that if you break down creative work into its component parts, those component parts are too trivial to be protected. Of course, that's crazy. Copyright protects original literary and artistic works that are simply specific combination of words, or images, or other content. The pair also emphasized the importance of understanding what Stardock actually purchased when it acquired the Star Control franchise in a Chase bankruptcy action. Indeed, TCLAIMSTARDOCKONLY actually bought the registration to the trademark Star Control and the copyright to the original parts of Star Control 3. The bankruptcy paperwork was very specific that anything not listed was excluded, not Star Control, Star Control 2nd, the unreleased Star Control 4. Packaging art none of that was included in the action. They added, getting to the nitty-gritty. The duo also claims Stardock received a copy of their 1998 contract with Star Control 3 developer Accolade, so it could understand the exact terms under which material had been licensed. That contract apparently did not grant any additional property to Stardock, but the studio now claims it holds all of Accolade's rights, and has also applied for tons of trademarks on the names of Aliens Reich and Ford invented in Star Control and Star Control 2nd. What's more, Riot and Ford also assert that Star Control Origins has copied certain gameplay and design elements from Star Control 2nd, thus directly infringing upon their original work. Besides the evidence of infringement identified in our most recent filings with the court, let's compare the expression in a very limited part of the gameplay interstellar travel. One would presume that Stardock would either make entirely new gameplay for Origins, or base it upon the original parts of SC3. They ought, referencing the comparison table pictured below. It's clear to us that Stardock chose to make Origins substantially similar to Star Control Light instead of using the original material they purchased in Star Control 3. We do not claim to have a copyright on all interstellar travel, but we do have a copyright on a specific viewing expressed interstellar travel in Star Control 2nd. We've seen many such examples in Star Control Origins where its expression is substantially similar to an derivative of our copyright-protected work, without our permission. Welcome to my yearly blog post on crowdfunding and games. Looking at how well games have performed on Kickstarter and Fig for the past year, as usual, I have shared a lot of graphs here to go through, alongside my own comments in regards to the trends that can be observed. Kickstarter is still raising more than $500 million a year, but it is to be noted that in 2018, it raised the lowest amount of money since 2014. This is only a -6% change year on year, and not a lot lower than in 2015, the best year for Kickstarter. But still a drop. Much more significant is the total number of projects launched on Kickstarter, a -17% change from 2017, and more than -40% from 2015, the best year. The novelty of Kickstarter has worn off,